When people think of Angus Young, the image is always the same. A man in a school uniform, running across the stage, never standing still, his guitar hanging low as if it were part of his body. That image became so iconic that it almost erased the man behind it. But what if that character was never meant to be the story? What if, behind the noise, the movement, and the mythology, there was a life defined by silence, discipline, and restraint? Angus Young was born in Scotland in 1955, the youngest child in a large, working-class family. Life was modest, structured, and far removed from any idea of fame. When he was still very young, his family made a difficult decision. They left Scotland and moved to Australia in search of stability. For a child, that kind of displacement leaves marks. Angus grew up feeling slightly out of place. He was an observer rather than a participant, quiet, distracted, and intensely focused when something truly captured his attention. That something, very early on, was the guitar. Unlike many future rock musicians, Angus never sought attention. He wasn't charismatic in conversation. He didn't enjoy explaining himself, and he never felt comfortable speaking in front of groups. Music became his language because it allowed him to communicate without having to speak at all. The guitar offered structure, repetition, and control, things he valued deeply. Even later in life, when fame became unavoidable, Angus remained guarded and uncomfortable with interviews. The stage was the only place where he felt fully present. The famous school uniform is often misunderstood. It wasn't created as satire. It wasn't designed as a marketing strategy. In reality, Angus simply wore school clothes frequently. He was known for leaving the house absent-mindedly, grabbing whatever was closest without thinking. When the band noticed that the outfit stood out on stage, it was kept, not exaggerated. Over time, the uniform became a symbol, but for Angus, it served a practical purpose. It separated the character from the person. When he put it on, he didn't have to be Angus Young anymore. He could disappear into the performance. On stage, Angus looked uncontrollable. Offstage, the opposite. Few people realize how disciplined his work ethic was. He practiced relentlessly, repeating the same passages for hours, not to impress, but to remove uncertainty. He believed simplicity demanded precision. There was little interest in excess technique or unnecessary experimentation. His goal was consistency, night after night, city after city. While the rock world often celebrated excess and unpredictability, Angus valued routine. The wildness of the show was only possible because everything else was controlled. The constant movement on stage was never choreographed. The duck walk, the spins, the sudden sprints across the stage, none of it was planned. Angus reacted physically to sound. Musicians who observed him closely noticed something unusual. Once the show began, he entered a state of near automation. His body responded faster than conscious thought. The guitar wasn't something he played, it was something he carried, something inseparable from motion. Angus Young never tried to redefine rock music. He never chased trends. He never aimed to be a hero. He simply committed completely to a single idea and repeated it with unwavering focus. That discipline is what allowed the chaos to exist, and perhaps that is the greatest irony of his legacy. One of the loudest figures in rock history was built on silence, repetition, and restraint.